A friend of mine is an expert glider pilot who trains neophytes on how to take cross-country flights without an engine in the air. I had asked ChatGPT to give me links to some of the articles that he's written, and I got a great table. And so here's one from 2007, Sierra Wave soaring blog. This is the kind of thing that he does, and it's really well received by his community, which really looks at weather patterns from the eye of flying and finding where there is uplift. So this wind is sucked up around the edge of that ridge. I've learned that much from him. I want a video. So let's take a look at one of these. So this is like a lesson.
All right, any questions about that?
The questions are good, Kim. The comment from Mike Thompson is we can hear the video, but I think your live commentary is probably better. So we'll stick to having.
Agreed.
Can you speak a little bit to onshore flow and some of the conditions for those that sets that up or that sort of thing?
Yeah, so let's talk about that briefly here. So for the onshore flow, you have to have a front coming in. And the limiting factor, as I commented before, is that sometimes it can be too moist, or of course, like both kind of ways, the timing is bad.
So I'm very interested in what the transcript and what kind of lesson can we create out of this recording. So here is the transcript. And I'm going to toggle off all the timestamps. That's the first step. And I'm going to get to the beginning of it. And I'm just going to select the whole thing and copy it all. And there we have that. I'm going to copy it. Earlier, we had developed a quick lesson. I'm going to take the same process to develop another lesson out of what we just witnessed. So I've got a video transcript, and I want to do the lesson script, lesson and summaries. I want takeaways, recaps, and all that. So in ChatGPT, I have something to start with. Create a class lesson out of the following transcript. Organize the class such that it will include an introduction, section summaries, and action steps for students to take. And you want to highlight takeaways, a recap, a short review of the content, and a reflective question so that they might go away and prepare to be quizzed or to check their knowledge later. So I've now got a transcript of my question, and then I'm going to just paste in that large transcript. There it is. Very large question for ChatGPT. And let's see what we get back. All right, they gave me one. And here are the wave fundamentals and concepts and action steps and techniques and the wet and dry forecasting, flight planning, recap, takeaways, and a question. Okay, I want to copy all of that. Now I want this to become the brief that I put into CueCam to create slides for my presentation. So in CueCam, File, Generate Script, and audience is going to be neophyte. And I'm going to put this as the brief. And I'm going to make this The goal is I'm going to put up 18 cards. Let's generate that script. We have a lesson. So once again, it has laid things out for me, and I can easily start an introduction. The objective for today's class. This was taken from a video. Its transcript generated a lesson plan, put the lesson plan into CueCam, and then generated the following presentation. We're going to cover dry and wet wave conditions, critical flight planning elements, and we're going to explain weather forecasting methods for safe soaring. Wave soaring, we're going to talk about the speaker, but this will be my friend giving the presentation, and some real-world examples and the importance of safety, preparation, and continuous learning. Wave soaring fundamentals. What is wave soaring? How does a wave lift is generated, and the differences between thermal and wave soaring. And the key insight is to maintain correct heading and adjust for wind drift. So we're going to research and list 3 key differences between thermal and wave soaring. And we're going to build a foundational understanding of wave soaring techniques. Our next section is techniques for dry wave soaring. And our focus area is to use reference points to maintain parallel flight, adjust the crab angle for wind drift, calculate glide performance under various conditions, and we'll talk about the impact of airspeed on glide ratio and altitude safety. And here's an action step exercise to calculate the expected glide ratio using given flight conditions, something we can work on in class. And we're going to practice quick in-flight calculations for safe decision making. Here we'll go into wet wave soaring. We will identify wet wave conditions and indicators and understand the risk of cloud closure and backup planning and strategies for marking points in the lift. And a key consideration is that rapidly changing conditions may require prompt decisions. Got to be on your toes. So we're going to have a group discussion to talk about a case study and develop backup strategies, with the goal to enhance situational awareness and emphasize safety planning. The 4th section is forecasting and flight planning, and once again, key topics to utilize weather maps and identify potential wave lift, compare forecasting tools and resources, understand wind profiles and their impact on flight. And the example is to look at how wind changes affect glider performance. Here's another action step is a simulation task to outline a flight plan using a weather forecast chart, and then develop skills in using meteorological data for flight planning. So let's recap what we've learned. The fundamentals, we touched on mastering maintaining lift with proper heading and crabbing. Dry wave flying requires precision, wet wave flying demands caution. And then we touched on safety and backup planning. Always prepare alternative plan for unexpected lift failures. And we looked at the tools we have. Proficiency in weather charts and models is critical for informed decisions. So a little short review. Key points: always be crabbing to counteract wind and drift. That's going sideways, not going straight. Keep altitude margins safe by understanding glider performance, and use multiple forecasting sources for flight plan validation. And as you go away, consider: if lift dissipates unexpectedly during a wave flight, what steps ensure a safe return or landing? Describe adjustments to your flight plan and factors influencing your decision making. This lesson plan uses real-world examples and interactive exercises to reinforce advanced soaring techniques and flight planning strategies. It aims to impart technical knowledge, foster critical thinking, and proactive safety measures for experienced pilots. Wow, that is a load.